FOMO, no fear, subscribe, stay sharp, and dance with the stinky socks. Dance with the stinky socks.
Heaven's sakes, don't smoke your socks. Bought some Bitcoin late at night. Woke up rich, that ain't right. Checked again, never mind. Broke as hell, see that line? Maybe risky, maybe wild, but so is betting on Uncle Clyde. Do your research, read your blogs. For heaven's sakes, don't smoke your socks.
Don't smoke your socks.
1, 2, test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Everybody hit that like.
No FOMO, no fear. Subscribe, stay sharp. Don't smoke those stinky socks.
All right, legends, let's get the party on the road. Just want to do this quickly. There we go, legends. Specific level that I'm watching for a potential long that is maybe going to play out over here. Remember, as per the video that just played, remember to smash up that like button. The second live stream for the day, legends. This is a level that I'm watching here at the moment. I've got my alarm set. I was hoping to jump into this trade, and right, this is the 786 that I'm watching over here. I want to see how price is going to react at this level. If price falls down here like it's doing now, it dips below and it gets acceptance back above, right? That is a potential long that I am looking for. Legends, nothing crazy. I'm scalping the 5-minute time frame over here, right? I want to see the reaction. I want to see this, and I want to see price being bought back up, right? I know where to put my stop loss. I know where to enter. And as soon as we start hitting some resistance to the upside, I close my position. I don't care if it goes higher. I don't care, right? I'm looking for a small little scalp trade. On the 1 minute, I've actually been trading the 1 minute time frame. Okay, before I dive into that, let me just make sure that my alarm is going off, right? I want to see how does it react. For those of you that's always asking me, Dewald, how do you play a swing failure pattern? Well, maybe we'll get one now, right? I need to see what I like before I enter this trade, right? Remember, legends, smash up that like button. Hit subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. We might have a little live trade playing out over here. I wanted to... Are we going to front run that level? Are we going to front run that level? I'm going to be patient, legends. I'm going to be patient because I have my emergency line. Where's my emergency line? Right, there's my emergency line. Let me set my alarm in case I get busy talking and I don't see it. Right, let me put my alarm on my little trend over there. Legends, remember to smash up that like button. Hi Arena, welcome to the live stream. Pluck you. Intro is so long that Crush can start and end through it. Right, hi everyone, hi peeps. Let's see what the legend will tell us. Ram, love it, love it. I think you meant to say love it. Right, dancing to the song. Oh my god, this intro. Yes, I've received some feedback from a lot of people saying that they really love this intro. Okay, been working hard. My brother put this intro together for me, obviously with some hard work from all of us. But I mean, just to make it some fun for everyone. I know it's corny, but it's to make it fun, right? Trading is serious. You're trading with your money. And it's nice to have a laugh and now and again and smell the roses along the way. Smell those stinking socks. Dewald, I'm 25 today. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, right? I hope you get a successful trade. Get some profits in the bag. Go buy some Wagyu burgers or steak, right? Or a nice little juicy piece of chicken. Me too, boss. Right, BTC dominance analysis. I will have a look at that as well. Dewald, hope you had a great weekend. Yes, I had a fantastic weekend. And let's dive here into the price of Bitcoin. Hey, Dewald, Mr. Jack here in the house. Welcome to the live stream. Okay, legends, let's go. Right, I'm just that type of trader. I like to see my levels get hit. Okay. I do have my emergency trend over here, right, legends? You know, we can zoom out into the 1 hour time frame, into the 15-minute time frame. We can go and speculate, is this corrective? Is it impulsive? Where's price? Are we going to $98,000? Are we going to $91,000? Are we just going to crash down here? Right, legends, for me it's about applying my trading strategy. Okay, it's I must say, this looks like a 3-wave here to the upside. Okay, it really looks like a 3-wave. Also tap the 0.618 there to the upside. Okay, when I take a trend based fib here from the low to the high that we've made on this structure, is it this high to the low, tap the 0.618 to perfection, to the dollar, right? And we got the rejection. And this tells me that this is a 3-wave structure. This is not an impulsive structure. Maybe we'll see how price reacts when we tap the 786. I want price to slow down. I do not particularly want price to come and tap the 1-to-1 extension, but I do know that that's also a potential longing opportunity. If I do not see the reaction that I like over here and we do fall to the downside, well, I have the 1-to-1 extension, the 1.236. We already got a reaction at the 0.618. So far it looks like this trend based fib extension is being respected. Right, let me take this out the way. I'm just looking for a small little scalp trade because this morning on the 1-minute time frame, okay, some small little scalps here to the upside. Where can it have liked to been? Okay, some small little scalps here to the upside. Break of trend, right? Simple, just applying your trading strategy. Break of trend, right? Every time claiming the high. You play the breakout, stop goes below the low, take profits by the high, maybe you leave some of the position open for higher levels, right? You get another trend, another breakout, stop goes below the, take the high every time, right? So 2 little scalp trades. I mean, it's not big trades, legends, but I mean, that is what trading is about at the end of the day, is about entering these trades with good risk management and taking profits when you hit the highs or hit resistance areas. Right, legends, looking at this structure, okay, it really looks like a corrective structure to the downside. It looks like a 5-wave structure here to the downside, a 5, 3, 5, okay, and this looks like it was now the 4th wave of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is why I was waiting for this level to be tapped. And this could be that it front run my level. Maybe I didn't pull this fib properly. Let me make sure. At the high. Okay, let me just clean up the brushes over here. Sometimes, you know, that's why it's so important to pull these fibs exactly, because you could miss a trade if you do not pull these fibs exactly. No, it didn't hit my level just as yet. Did not hit my level just as yet. Right, legends, small little scalp trades, that's all I'm looking for over here. I want to see if price is going to find support, right, and give me a little bit of a move here to the upside until it hits resistance. Okay, that's all I'm looking for over here. Okay, just going to set another alarm here on the 786. Okay, just going to set another alarm. Right, so, right, there we go. If we claim that low, I want to see how price is going to react over there. Right, legends, let's zoom into this larger time frame, okay? Because not everyone likes to scalp, the 5-minute time frame. And you can see where price is trying to find support, okay? We had some nice, insane momentum here this morning, here to the upside. Looked like it wanted to come and claim this high and come up here at least to the $96,000 200 area, and now it fell down, right? I also had this trend over here that I was tracking. Just want to make sure that I still have it. And was it this one? Right, there we go. Now the question is this a breakout? Okay, now this is now the question. Was this now the breakout? Also, by the way, that took the high. If you played this breakout over here, took the high. Another D-line strategy in the bag, okay, on the larger time frame as well. You just have to be more patient on the larger time frame, which means you will trade less. Okay, depending on how much time you have available to trade. Okay, it's up to you. Is this now a retest, weekly point of control that we lost this morning? We found acceptance back above, and now we're retesting this area again. Could we get a nice little bounce here to the upside? Ooh, my alarm went off. Why did my alarm go off? Let's go back. Right, legends, I just want to switch on that trend-based FIB. I want to see how price is, going to react. Go back here onto the 5-minute time frame. It's like I can't click my mouse fast enough. I want to see the reaction here to the downside. Okay, now I need to decide, am I going to enter this long trade over here? Let me just make sure that I have my exchange ready and loaded. Okay. Market order. Let's go. Okay, leverage. Right. Ready to pull the trigger. Ready to pull the trigger. I want to see a little bit of strength over there. I don't mind entering a little bit late. I really don't mind. Okay, I just want to see a little bit of strength because it could dip down again. Right. But legends, what is happening right here at the moment, just to explain to everyone, this is what I look for. Okay, it dipped below the level. Okay, it dipped below the level and now it's trading above. That is usually where I enter and I put my stop loss below the low. Right? Sometimes I'll be a little bit more patient. Okay, I want to see a couple of candles close above and then I will enter even a little bit late, right? And I'll just use less capital. This is really sniper. It is an advanced style of trading, swing failure patterns. Okay, but it is getting the reaction at the 786. Okay, so maybe, just maybe, there's a chance that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is now completed. So what you would like to see is that if momentum is not just going to continue to the upside, you at least want to see a 3-wave corrective structure to the upside. And this is my obvious area of resistance. I just want to see where is the VWAP. Right, you can see the VWAP is over here. Right, so VWAP for me, together with resistance, always a great profit-taking area. Right, legends, that is basically how I play swing failure patterns. Okay. So let's see, I'm going to give it a little bit more time before I just enter over here. Because there is another scenario that I am watching. Because we could be building a little bit of a triangle here to the downside. So I just want to see how it's going to react. But I want some candles to start trading above this level. Right, legends. Also, okay, another thing that I would like to do is a FIB from the low to the high. Okay, where are we? Almost tapping. Oh, it would be nice if we actually can claim this 0.786 here as well. Would be ever so nice if we can claim this level, get the dip below, get that acceptance back above, show me signs of strength. Price needs to show me strength, and it's not showing me strength at the moment. Okay, it's just not at the moment. So, right, I acknowledge we have a little bit of an order block over here that can provide the support that we need right now. So, you know, it's just about being patient. Don't FOMO into your trade. If you don't see the price action that you like, you just don't enter, right? If you're not confident, use less capital. Take $1, take 50 cents. Okay, it's about winning the trade, not about how much money you're going to make. Money will follow as a result of the successful trades. You have to practice your trading strategy, right? So, legends, and this is basically what trading is about. You sit on your damn hands. You wait, you watch the price action, you try and not get emotional about it. We are human, emotional beings. It's difficult to act robotic. Okay. I do like that little candle over there, legends. I'm going to just nibble a little bit over here. I'm just going to nibble a small little position over here, right? Nothing too serious, nothing too crazy. My stop goes below that small little wick over here. Right, my stop goes below this little wick over here. I would like the 786 to be tapped. Okay, so I don't, legends, that is such a small stop loss. I don't mind getting stopped out, right, and re-entering the trade if I see that strength back to the upside. You see how difficult these swing failure patterns is sometimes. Now you've entered and you're like, oh crap, it's falling, and then you exit your position, you re-enter the position. Okay. It's a emotional roller coaster. So I'm just nibbling here with a small little position. I would like that 786 to be tapped. Right. Okay. I just need to put in my stop loss, legends. Okay. It's all about managing risk. Let's go. There we go. Right, I need to make sure that I have my stop in place. Let's go, legends. Let's go. Okay, so entered a small little scalp trade here to the downside. I must say it does look and smell like a, you know, if I zoom into the 1 minute time frame, it does look like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This looks like a corrective structure to the upside, and this again looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this could be a 535 structure that is forming over here, and it could potentially break the trend, but this is definitely, I might leave 10%, 5% of the position open over here, because what if it just rock and rolls here to the upside? Then I can still benefit from the momentum without feeling that I have to FOMO into the trade, because I did leave some of the position open. Okay, right, so currently getting a little bit of reaction. Let's see if it's going to last. Right, legends, good risk management. And if you'd like to come and trade with me, links are always down in the description, legends. Weeks where you get 25% discount on your trading fees. Okay, so if you'd like to practice your trading strategy, if you deposit money into your features account, you get 20% airdropped into your account. Okay, of the money that you've deposited to trade for free, right? You can also win an amazing Ferrari. And then both Bluffin and Weeks. If you don't like Weeks, I've got Bluffin here as well. The more you trade, the more money gets airdropped into your account. All you need is an email and a password, and you can start leverage trading, right? You can even start with $1, $10, doesn't matter, right? To start practicing your trading strategy. Okay, legends. So far, it looks good. Right, so far, okay, it's holding the line. It got the dip down below. Let's see if it now can start gaining some steam here to the upside. Right, I just want to see what dominant CVD is doing here to the downside. Okay, so far neutral. Okay, when we were coming up here to the upside, right, I didn't trust this over here. Okay, when we started consolidating over here, and I saw the push here to the upside, we created berry CVD. This is why, okay, I was like, it needs another drop. Okay, now we got the drop, the berry CVD play out, and now it needs to find its feet, right? Let's see. Small little scalp, tight little stop loss, and that is how we roll at the end of the day. Let me go through some comments. I'm done. It's crypto now. Too manipulated. I'm just here to see Dewald. Chris, welcome to the live stream, my man. Okay, this is how you trade. You know, at the end of the day, no one can predict exactly where the price of Bitcoin is going. It's all a game of probabilities at the end of the day. The only thing that you can do and control as a trader is your risk and managing your trade. Okay. This is the only thing you can control. You can only control your risk, and you need to know where to take profits. That's it. That's all you can control. Sell. Well, there's only two things you can do. You can buy and you can sell. That's it. That's all you can do. You can only buy and sell, right? And it's about how you manage your risk, and it's about taking profits. That's it. You get in, you get out, you apply your trading strategy onto the next trade. Sit on your hands, wait for price to come to your plan. Okay, right, legends. So that's basically what I wanted to talk about here in this live stream. I was also looking at Link. I showed the Legends Pro community this potential trade that I was waiting for here on Link. Also just scalping the 15-minute time frame. And I told the legends inside of our Legends Pro community, we were over here. I said, oh, it would be nice if we can hold the support. Right, it would be nice. I don't want to really see acceptance back below the trend. To me now, this is a bearish sign, but it is tapping the 786, which is the maximum target for a bullish bounce. So there's a chance that it could find strength back up here, right? Hit resistance, you in and you out. So you can also apply your trading strategy to one of your favorite altcoins. I do recommend that if you are day trading an altcoin, choose an altcoin that has high volume, a large market cap. Okay, these small little meme coins and, you know, low market caps, and they leave these scam wicks, and it's not pretty to trade them, right? So I was looking at the break of trend here on link. I was being patient. I was watching this little trend over here. We lost it, right? And now we bounced on support here, also in confluence with the 786. Right, it could also just be a retest and continuation back to the downside. But that's the move that I'm playing here on Bitcoin as well. If it continues here to the upside, right? Okay, there's a little bit of an order block. Might consider taking some profits over there, but this is the major resistance. You can see this is major resistance over here, right? Look at this. Resistance, support, support, resistance, resistance, resistance. Okay, you consolidated inside of the area, and this is also where you lost it. Okay, this is where it starts accelerating here to the downside. So now this becomes obvious support. It's also in confluence with the VWAP. Can you guys see the VWAP? I try to make it as thick as I possibly can. The VWAP in these scalping opportunity scenarios for me always becomes a TP1 area, right? You play along, price continues here up, right? It always becomes a profit taking area. It's just about scalping the range. You don't care if price is going to $100,000 or whether it's falling down back to $80,000. You just want to get in, get out, take some profits and scrape those dollars from the market. Okay, Houston, we have a trade. Right, I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments. Did anyone play this trade with me at the moment? Okay, guys, what I can tell you is usually when price starts going up a little bit like this now, okay, this is where I start like to de-risk myself a little bit. And, you know, there's a couple of ways you can play this. And there's no wrong way. Is that I like to protect my position over here when I see a couple of green candles to the upside. It's my style of trading, but it comes with a risk. But I know my personality and I know my style of trading. I do not mind, okay, getting stopped out and entering again. I don't mind doing that. That's how I trade if I am in front of the chart. Then there's another way of trading. You leave your stop loss where it is. You let the trade play out. Because often what happens is with my style of trading is because I'm so defensive, I don't want to give my money to the market. Because I'm so defensive with my cash, often what happens is it goes, it stops me out, and then it moves without me, right? And if you leave your stop loss where you're supposed to leave your stop loss, potentially it gets the retest and you don't get stopped out and benefit from the entire move. It comes with pros and cons. But also now the con of the retest scenario where you leave your stop loss is it comes back down and it just falls, right? Now you take a loss. It's just my style. I don't like to take losses, legends. It's not my style. Okay, right, legends. Currently getting a little bit of momentum here to the upside. Let's see if this can continue. Let's see. It would be so nice if we can just come in, you know, snap this level as quickly as possible. Let's come club this level, get the successful trade in the bag, and then wait for the next trading setup. Okay, not sure. Let me know in the comments. Got in the trade, Dewald. Yes, got in the trade. All the liquidity on the 12-hour heat map is to the upside. Interesting. Guys, remember, you don't have to close your position here, okay? What I like to do is a rule that I apply. I will leave 10% of my position open. If it wants to run, let it run with a 10% of my position. But I'm looking to maximize my profit in my zone where I've planned my trade. Okay. The reason swing failure patterns, legends, are so powerful is because if you wait for the break of the trend, which is another trading strategy and very successful, I might add, you just have to use less capital. If you're waiting for the trend to break, okay, which is potentially a safer way to get into the trade. Okay, so let's say it continues here to the upside, it breaks out. Okay, it comes to us a retest and then it continues. Your stop loss is further away from where you've entered. And sometimes you don't get the retest for a better entry. It just runs. Okay. But now you have a bigger stop loss that you have to contend with, which means you have to trade with less capital. And if resistance is so close, often the risk to reward is not worth it. Where you're entering, where you're supposed to take stop loss, the risk to reward doesn't make the trade worth it. That is why swing failure patterns for me are so powerful, because now I already have a free trade. free. If price reverses now and it falls, it stops me out. I lose only the trading fees. Okay, that's it. I don't lose my my capital, because now this is the scenario. I entered. I'm going to take profits when we hit resistance, and my position is protected. I have a free trade. If you leave your stop loss where you're supposed to leave your stop loss, look at the risk to reward. You have a 9.38 risk to reward. If you enter the breakout, let's say we break out over here, okay, and your stop loss now needs to stay over here. Now you have a 0.9 risk to reward. So for every dollar, you're only making 90 cents. It doesn't make it's not worth it to take that trade, right? Unless you have a plan where your profit taking areas are much higher. Okay, right. So maybe that could be a TP1 for you, where you take 20% off the table, right? You take another 20% off the table. Maybe you close your position when you start hitting the highs, depending on what your trading strategy is. Often what I will do as legends, if I enter a trade via a swing failure pattern and my position is already protected over here and we get a successful breakout, okay, price comes back for retest, there's some nice bullish CVD, it's showing me strength. When you take a fib from the low to the high, it finds support there in the golden pocket. Sometimes what I will do is I will add to my position. What it will do is it will drag my position up ever so slightly, but I will still protect my position. Okay, it bounces, right? Maybe there's a nice little trend forming over there as well. Maybe it breaks out, it continues, but you can see it gets a little bit more complicated. But I'm just trying to keep it very simple for everyone over here, right? Get in, take your profits, get out. Right. I also opened a long position. Right, I hope you guys are practicing good risk management, because I know, you know, you get when you enter a trade and the trade goes in your favor, there's emotion, you get excited, and some people don't trade with stop losses. Please guys, please have your stop loss in place. And if you do have a stop loss in place, okay, don't move it. If price reverses on you, okay, if price rejects you by the trend, comes back down, some people, they will start moving their stop loss. Okay, don't do that, right? Take the loss, take the knock. There's another trade around the corner. Right, these are just all the lessons that I've learned during my trading journey so far, legends. And guys, this trading course that I'm putting together, you guys think that I share a lot of education. Yeah, wait until you see the trading course that I'm busy developing. It's going to be amazing, legends. It's going to be absolutely amazing. It is jam-packed, full of alpha, right? Yeah, let me just leave it at that, right? I hear you about moving the stop loss. Yes, I think it's a mistake that most of us make when we started out. Maybe you still make those mistakes. You move your stop loss, okay? It's not the way to trade, legends. How about using trailing stop loss? Yes, you can use a trailing stop loss. Okay, definitely a possibility. Now the thing is, have you back tested the trailing stop loss? Do you know the percentage gap that you need to put in your trailing stop loss? Because you can also get stopped out of the trade prematurely. So it's now pumping nicely here to the upside. Okay, your trailing stop loss is following your trade, right? Maybe you have a percentage of, I don't know, okay, it's following your trade. It comes back for a healthy retest. You have the pump, comes back for retest, and it continues. It still makes a higher low, okay? And then your trailing stop loss stops you out. So, you know, you need to backtest it also to see what gap you need to leave between, so that you don't prematurely get stopped out of your trade and it leaves without you. So even a trailing stop loss comes with practice. Okay. I have personally never used a trailing stop loss. I don't like them. A trailing stop loss, I've never personally used them, and it's just I like to monitor my trade. I like to, you know, sit in front of the screen, monitor my trade, get in, get out. If I do enter a trade and I'm not in front of the computer, so let's say I did enter over here and I'm not in front of the computer, I need to go to gym, or I need to run errands, maybe jump in the shower or do something, I will leave my stop loss here. If I'm not in front of the chart, I will put a TP over here to close out my position, and I'll let the trade play out. Okay, once you've planned your trades, very important to let it play out. Just let it play out. Okay, right, legends, remember to smash up that like button. I am sure everyone realizes that this alpha, this education can be life changing. Please do not underestimate this opportunity. Thanks, Dewald. Rudy, an absolute pleasure, man. Absolute pleasure. Guys, I agree with Rudy over here. Rudy is also inside of our Legends Pro community. The education and the alpha that I provide over here, just the education of how to enter swing trade, where to put your stop loss, how to identify your resistance and support areas, teaching you how to enter these trades with exceptionally good risk management and profit-taking areas, okay? You're going to pay massive amounts of money for someone else's trading course, and I can guarantee you they're not even going to go into half of the amount of detail that I go in here on the live streams. Okay, until I release my trading course. Okay, my trading course is going to be epic. It's going to be epic, right? I'm gonna break some what is it? I'm gonna break some records, hopefully, with my trading course. Right, legends, but now hopefully you have seen how I play a swing failure pattern. I get this question so many times. Dewald, how do you play a swing failure pattern? You always talk about it. How do you actually play it? Look at this beautiful swing failure pattern, right? So this is now one where I would have spoken about it. Guys, it dips above, it leaves a wick behind, it starts trading below, you enter the goddamn short and you put your stop loss above the high. That's a sign of weakness. It's failing to close candles above the high. Right, well, this was an epic short here to the downside. You can also see how it just lost the trend completely, right? Even if you played this breakout, had you stop above the high, right, and you take profits as soon as you hit the trend from a retesting perspective, that was still a nice little trade. I just don't know if the risk reward was worth it, playing this little breakdown over here. And that's why you guys can see, okay, why swing failure patterns are the best trades, because they have the best risk management, but they do take practice. They take a lot of practice. I know that I'm making it sound easy, but now at least you have seen how I play it. Price dips below, I wait. As soon as I saw that green candle starting trading above, I was like, okay, now I'm going to enter a small little position over here, right? And okay, I do acknowledge that there's a little bit of an order block over there, you know, and this could be a retest of the trend that falls down. So, you know, ideally I would like to see the breakout and hit my profit taking area, but I do acknowledge this little order block where you could get a rejection. So I might take a little bit off the table when we hit this little order block over there. Right, legends, and that is actually, you know, the only thing that you have control over is when to enter and where to take profits. That's all you can do. Buy, sell, buy, sell. It's the only two things you can do on an exchange. You can only click the buy button and click the sell button. Enter your stop loss, know where to take profits, but it's basically, it comes down to buy and sell. Right, when would be how much, how to get in? When would be how much to get in? Right, are you talking about the trading course that I'm developing? Okay, it's still going to take a while for me to put it together. There's a lot of research, legends. It's me like literally dusting off my old documents and my notebooks and everything like that. I want to develop and teach a very simple trading style, and I want to backtest it with a fresh account. You know, this is the amount of work that I'm putting into this trading course. I've opened up a fresh account. I'm applying the trading strategy. I've got rules. I'm going to share the rules with you. What do you look out for? How do you follow your rules? Sticky notes that you stick on your damn desk of rules that you're not allowed to break, okay? A plus trade, a triple A trade, a B trade, a C trade. How much capital do you deploy? Where do you put your stop losses? Okay, a tick box exercise that you go through before you enter every single trade. I don't use those tools often anymore because it's so imprinted in my mind. I know exactly what to look for. I know exactly how much capital to use. You know, I've you know, once you start learning to drive a car and you've been driving a car for a couple of years, you don't need to look at the manual anymore, right? But I'm going to share all of that information. So it's going to take me a while to put together this trading course. But what I am going to do, Mr. Mustaine, is I'm going to release it in modules. It's going to be the basic section. Okay, I'm going to release it. It's just going to, what is it? What is a candle? What does it mean when the candle goes up? What does it mean when the candle goes down? Right? What is a Fibonacci? What is a trend line? What is trading view? How do you use trading view? What is an exchange? How do you use an exchange? So I'm going through the basics first, and I will release those modules, and then I'll do intermediate. Okay? What is harmonic patterns? Basics about Elliott wave theory, how to draw support and resistances. Okay? These are just some of the things that stuck in my mind, and then it's going to go into advanced. Proper, detailed Elliott wave theory, harmonic patterns, how to track them, how to trade them, where to take profits, swing failure patterns, how to combine different strategies. Okay, so guys, it's going to be an amazing trading course that I'm putting together, and I will let you guys know when that is ready. Right? Okay. If you zoom into the 1 minute time frame, the candles on this move up are very small. Isn't this a sign of weakness? Well, I don't really like to trade on the 1 minute. I do recommend it if you're starting out, because everything is fast forward and happens a lot quicker on the 1 minute time frame. But here on the 5 minute time frame, I'm acknowledging volume starting to kick in. I'm acknowledging the green volume starting to kick in over here, right? This could now be the initial A wave here to the upside. Let's go on to the 1 minute. Guys, I can even go on to the 10-second if you want me to, okay? So, for now, let's even, let's entertain it. Let's go here onto the 10-second time frame. How about that? All right, legends. Now, this is scalping. Okay, I don't think I've ever traded, well, except when my brother was here. We traded the 10-second, 15-second time frame. Yes, he gets in and out of trades so quickly, it's scary, right? This could be a 1, 2, 3 highest amount of volume. You made another high with less volume, so this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It comes back for a corrective structure. It forms 1, 2, 3, maybe a 3-wave structure to the upside. This is where I plan to take profits. Okay, so right, it's not my cup of tea to go into the smaller time frames like that, legends. Okay, I like the 5 minute. 3 minutes still okay. Okay, but now you can see where we're getting the rejection. It's there by the trend. So let's see if we get the successful breakout. I want that alarm to go off, right? Let's see if this alarm says ting-a-ling-a-ling, and then maybe we get a nice little breakout. Okay, we take profits. If we get a nice little retest, that would be great to add to the position, right, for continuation here to the upside. Maybe we're going to form a 3-wave structure. I don't know what's going to happen here over legends, but I have a plan, right? I'm already in. My position is already protected. Okay. Right. I'm too old for these time frames. Some people love the smaller time frames. Guys, I mean, depending on how much time you have on your hands, I mean, go knock your socks off. You want to go into the 10-second time frame, go for it, right, guys? But if you want to practice your trading strategies, if you want to practice swing failure patterns, if you want to practice break off trend strategies, if you want to practice volume strategies, okay, smaller time frames is the best place to practice, because those patterns and strategies that you are executing plays out a lot quicker on the smaller time frames. You can just imagine, okay, you want to learn trading and you are here on the daily time frame. And you're like, right, now I'm going to learn to trade, okay? I'm going to learn to trade. You know how long you would have waited for this break of trend? How long would you have waited? You would have waited, right, from the top until it started breaking out properly. You would have waited 82 days. Is that right? 82 days, 82 bars? You would have waited 82 days before you practiced your first breakout trade. On the 1 minute, you could have had 1,000 trades inside of this range, okay? Because remember, breakouts happens to the downside as well, right? You can play them down as well. So what I'm trying to demonstrate over here is the larger the time frame and you're trying to practice a trading strategy, you're going to have to be very, very, very patient. You want to get 1,000 trades under your belt, Okay, you want to drive that car, you want to get the experience, you want to swerve out, you want to let your tire pop, you want to, you want to get as much experience in the shortest amount of time possible. And the only way you're going to get that experience is by trading the smaller time frames. Okay, money should not be the goal. The goal should be winning the trade that you've planned. That must be the goal. Winning the trade, not the money. Okay? That is your plan, right? Let it play out. If your trade plays out, you have won your trade. Money comes as a result. Because you won the trade, you've made money. But a lot of people, the mindset is, I want to make money. I'm going to enter this trade. Can I double my account? Can I 3x my account? Can I 100x my account? Okay, money is always the goal. And as long as money is the goal, you're going to struggle to become a successful trader. Because the trade should be the goal. Planning the trade. Managing your risk. Why are you entering? Where is your stop loss? Where do you plan to take profits? This is the goal, not the money. Money comes as a result of winning the trade. Right. Dewald, good day. Fine, sir. We are where you are aware of the CME gap. I haven't actually looked at the CME gap. Let's go check it out. Currently getting the retracement here to the downside. Okay, it looks like an A wave here on the, what is this, 10-second time frame. Let's go look at the CME gap. Is it this one? Ooh, this looks dirty as hell. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame. Why are you not switching off? Update to latest version. Right, there we go. Now I can switch it off. Right, let's go look at that CME gap. CME gap, yeah. Right, there's a possibility. There's definitely a possibility to come here to the downside and fill that CME gap. Legends, I have to stress, CME gap trading, okay? CME gap trading. There are actually trading strategies developed around CME gaps. They work best in stock markets, forex markets, commodities, where each and every day the market actually closes, opens. There are actually strategies developed around CME gaps. Some of these traders that trade CME gaps on the Nasdaq and S&P 500 have confirmed that CME gaps on Bitcoin does not work as effectively as the stock markets. And those trading strategies do not necessarily apply to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a 24-hour market. You cannot compare it to a stock market that actually shuts down, where Bitcoin just creates the gap, okay, but it's still a 24-hour risk asset. Right, so guys, I acknowledge the CME gaps. I don't trade them, and I have no strategy around a CME gap. I acknowledge that you could at some stage fill the gap, but you also don't have to fill the gap. If you go and you backtest the CME gaps on Bitcoin, it doesn't have a great track record. But when you backtest CME gaps on the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq, okay, that paints a different story. So if you want to trade CME gaps and you want to develop a trading strategy around CME gaps, I don't think you should be trading Bitcoin. You should be trading the S&P 500 and Nasdaq stock markets. Okay. Right. Cool. I want to see what CVD is doing. Okay. Well, at least the Berry CVD got overwritten. Okay. Now the question is, we need to create a higher low, right? We need to create a higher low. That would be absolutely amazing. Create a higher low and breakout. That would be great. Right, legends? Remember, guys, if anyone did take the trade with a little bit too much cash, okay, you can't take the loss, right? Just de-risk yourself. While you are in profits, de-risk yourself. If you are trading with too much money and you cannot take this knock, you are nervous, you're biting your nails, it means you've risked too much money. You should be very comfortable with a knock on the chin. Okay, it's not nice, but you should be comfortable with a knock on the chin. Yes, but aren't they 90% full because of CME exchanges in Chicago? Well, I don't know if I don't know that I can't comment, Alex, on 90% fold. But all I do know is that CME gap traders, and I know 2 of them, have confirmed that they've tried to use their strategies on Bitcoin and it's not effective. So, right. So if you have a CME gap strategy on Bitcoin that is successful, by all means. But I mean, there's many successful trades that I can take without even worrying about CME gaps, because now that CME gap is a little bit far away. Okay, so let me clean up the chart over here. This thing now wants to update to the latest version. Right, let's close this. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame. Let's clean up the chart. Right, so legends, is there a possibility for lower levels? Always. Is there a possibility for higher levels? Always. What I do know is if I get stopped out and price continues to the downside to go and fill that CME gap, right, I have levels to the downside. I have my point of control, I have my daily levels, and I have my weekly levels. Also, when I take a fib from the low to the high of the structure that is formed, okay, let me just clean up these fib. That one needs to stay. Guys, I just want to clean it up a little bit more over here. Right, clean it up. There we go. Right, legends. There are many trades that I can take inside of this range. Not necessarily waiting for the CME gap, whatever the case might be, right? And I can guarantee you one of my areas of confluence will most likely align with that CME gap. I will be looking for longs at the 0.382, specifically this naked point of control at $90,000, 682. I will be looking for longs at the 0.618. And like I did over here, I will be playing swing failure patterns over here, or I will play break of trend. So it's not that I'm saying CME gaps don't work. All I'm saying is I don't need CME gaps as part of my trading strategy to be a successful trader. That's basically what I'm saying. Okay, like some people here on the live stream will say Dewald Elliott wave theory sucks. I don't think that's the right word to use. I think it just does not work for you. So I don't want to say CME gaps on Bitcoin suck. I'm just saying I don't need it as part of my trading strategy. Right, what is Link doing? Is Link finding support here to the upside as well? Right, someone asked for Bitcoin dominance analysis. Let's go check it out. Bitcoin dominance. Let's go to the 8-hour time frame. Let's see. Ooh, dominance is inside of resistance at the moment. Let me put it onto the log scale. What is happening? Let's go to the daily. Right, that's going to be best. I just want to see where did I take this trend from. Okay, so I like where dominance is at the moment. When you take, okay, just simple technical analysis. When I take a trend base, a fib retracement from the high to the low, right, we are now at the 786. This is where we got the first initial rejection to the downside. So we are still inside of resistance at the moment. So dominance could potentially create a double top and reject. Gonna have to wait for the trend to break to the downside, because if I zoom in here onto the 8-hour time frame and I look at this little structure, okay, it's still trending up. It's still trending up. And the first sign of weakness will be to lose the trend. We need to lose the trend. And you need to claim, okay, you need to claim that low. For more downwards momentum, you need to lose the trend, claim the low, and make a lower low. Now you have a lower low, right? Maybe it bounces on this trend over here, it makes a lower high, and then it continues momentum to the downside. So for now, dominance is still showing strength, but it is struggling at the 786. Not much to analyze, right? We still have major resistance here to the upside. If I go back here onto even the weekly time frame and you look at this structure, I mean, what a beautiful bull cycle we had when we had this drop to the downside. Okay, almost no retracements. It looked like it fell here in a straight line on the weekly time frame. Okay, it's just been grinding up here to the upside. You have the trend. It's just been grinding up. I have my small little trend that I'm tracking over there, but we still have resistance at, let's call it 68%, okay, which is the 0.88. And then when you tap the 0.88, you do increase the probabilities of taking the high. So maybe in the worst case scenario is it double tops, right? It double tops, but there is a chance that it could reject from where it is right now. And this is actually a very good rejection zone, because when you tap a 786, okay, there's a high chance that you could potentially even claim the low. When you tap the 0.88, now you increase probabilities of taking this high. So you actually want dominance to reject here by the 786. Maybe create a local double top. Right, and that is the simple and dirty technical analysis here on dominance. So more locally, what would be great is to create a double top, right, and lose the trend. That will be the first tick to say that, okay, this is starting to look good. Right, legends, let's go back here onto the 5-minute time frame. What is happening? Are we getting the bounce? Are we going to get stopped out? That is the question. Okay, I'm just going to let the trade play out. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to let it play out. Yeah, another scenario that I was thinking of, what if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? But I told everyone I'll be looking for another long. Definitely I'll be looking for another long. And also, now that I know that these FIB levels are being respected, okay? Now that I know that these FIB levels are respected, we got a reaction at the 0.618. We got a beautiful reaction at the 786. If price falls to the downside, okay, taps the 1-to-1 extension, I will be looking at the same thing. You have to acknowledge, as a day trader, you will get stopped out. You will. It's inevitable, right? It's just about having a better win, a couple of better win trades to the upside, than just continuously losing money, okay, and getting bled out from your account. So I am in a free trade over here. I have protected my position, so now I just want to see what happens. Ideally, we create a higher low and we break out. I want this alarm to go off. Right. Dewald, will you mention figures in this type of trade? What do you mean figures? The amount of money I'm making, or what do you mean by Dean? Do you mean the amount of money that I'm making during these trades? I can tell you guys now, just on average, if you want to have numbers, right? Trades like these, okay, if I enter the here and I take profits here at resistance, okay, if I play trades like these, generally I average about $500 to $2,000 for these little trades. It depends on how big your portfolio is. It unfortunately has everything to do with the size of your portfolio, right? Because you can make $500 to $2,000 here on a $1,000 portfolio, but then you are seriously over trading and applying too much capital to your trades, right? But if you're trading with $1 million portfolio or $500,000 portfolio, it's easy to make $2,000, $5,000 with a trade like this. You get in, you get out, call it a day. Right, and you're still practicing good risk management. Paul, you are the man. I appreciate you sharing your alpha and your trades with us. I'm in the long scalp with you this time. Paul, welcome. Right, I just hope it's going to play out over here. Okay, I really just hope it's going to play out. Quite interesting where it got the rejection is at the trend. And, you know, basically all I did is I connected these two little pivots over here. Because, you know, there's also that, what if this is forming a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? It comes down for one more low. If it gets acceptance back above, I will be there. Entering, if I'm not sleeping, of course. Okay, if I'm sleeping, I will just miss the trade. But if we lose the level and we don't get acceptance back above and we keep on tumbling down, then I'm going to be paying attention to the 1-to-1 extension, because now I know that this FIP retracement, okay, where I've taken it from the high to the low to the high, is being respected. Okay. Right. I will definitely also consider a swing failure pattern from this low. Definitely, especially if we come and tap. I just want to see where that 0.88 is. If I take a FIP from the low to the high, yeah, I mean, look at that. You know, the 0.88 and the 1-to-1 extension is married over here. So you could get the bounce, okay, where now this becomes resistance, right? So then I'm going to take, so obviously if I trade from a different level, my profit taking areas changes. Have to remember that. Okay. So if price had to fall down here, it gets the SFP. This now becomes a profit taking area. Okay, support, which is now flipped into resistance. I'm not going to wait for this level. Right, because you've tapped the 0.88, you increase the probabilities of taking the low. Then this 1.236, the 1.382, the 1.618 becomes interesting areas to keep in mind. So it is a lot of hard work, legends. You know, you might, yes, Dewald, you have so many levels. What if this and what if that? That is trading at the end of the day. Okay, you have many levels. You apply your trading plan, you let it play out. Okay, I have longing levels here to the downside that I'm going to be keeping an eye on, right? Especially this 0.618. Okay, it's all about the reaction and applying your trading plan. It is hard work to trade. It is a full-time job. If you don't have a 9 to 5 and you're a full-time trader, it's hard work. You have to watch the levels. You get stopped out. You have to wait for the next trade. You have to watch the level. Look for confluence. That's what it's about at the end of the day. Okay, can we still claim the high? There's a chance. You know, if anyone is ever asking me, can we still do this? I'm always going to respond with, there's a chance, because the market is unpredictable at the end of the day. I don't particularly like this structure as an impulsive structure. It is very ugly, okay, as a 5-wave structure, although you could argue this is a 1, this is a 2, this is a 3, and this is a 4 and a 5. The only rule is your third wave is not allowed to be the shortest wave, and it's not. So you potentially have an extended first wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is a corrective structure, and it is going to go and claim the highs again. There's a chance. There is a chance. I think what is interesting, let me do this here quickly. Let me just clean up the chart. If this is 5, A, B, C. Yeah, no, the 786 is, I mean, your maximum bullish bounce needs to be at the 786. We basically almost tap this level, right? So you basically want this area to be the low, because if this is an impulsive structure in an extended 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this, my friends, has to be the low. Maximum bullish target. So you're basically saying this is a 1, this is a 2. You don't want to lose the 786, and then you go up for a third wave. Right. Dewald, there's a lot of liquidity at 96k. Let's go and have a look at 96k or liquidity heat map. Model 2. Just wait for that to load up. Sorry guys, I need to take my head here out the way, otherwise you won't be able to see. Let me do that. Right, bring it back. Yes, there's still a lot of liquidity above. I acknowledge the liquidity above. I just want to see, especially on the 24-hour. But when I day trade, I like to focus on the 12 and 24-hour, just from a day trading perspective. Where's the liquidity? Okay, so from a day trading perspective, it looks, you know, most of the liquidity is to the upside. But when you start going into the 3-day, the 1 week, but even on the 3-day, it looks good there to the upside. 1 week, let's see. We took some of that liquidity, but now on the 1 week, I mean, there's a lot of liquidity to the downside as well, okay? But it is concentrated there above the highs, so it would be nice to go and smash those highs again. Guys, but I don't particularly like to use liquidity to enter trades. You can use it as an additional level of confluence, okay? Because what could happen, and what happens often, is it first falls down. It eats the liquidity at the bottom so that more liquidity builds up to the upside. Oh, we're definitely falling down. More people into shorts, more liquidity builds up to the upside. Then you go and smack the liquidity to the upside. So it's not really reliable, okay? But the 12-hour and the 24-hour does look promising. Okay, does look promising. Let me switch myself back. Let's go. Right. Currently getting the bounce, which is good. Are we seeing signs of weakness? Oh. Yeah, no, this is something I don't like to see, but guys, I'm going to let my trade play out, okay? I'm just going to let my trade play out. I don't like this. It just has to be said. I don't like this. Okay, you have... Okay, wait. That already played out. Yeah, but still, you still have berry CVD. Okay, so look at this and look at this. Right, you have berry CVD. The target is the low. It's not this low. Not this low, it's this low. Right, so it could come down and maybe find upwards momentum. Let's see how this plays out. Right, I just want to see, if I zoom into that little structure, where are we from a FIP retracement perspective? From the low to the high. Okay, you can see where we got the tap. It's at the golden pocket. So if the bearish CVD plays out, 786 needs to hold, because that is a bullish bounce. 786 needs to hold. If you're going to tap the 0.88, you increase probabilities of taking the low. Right, so this could be the 3-wave corrective structure that gives us the bounce, or it's just going to smack back down. Then I get stopped out, and as I said, then I will look for the next trading opportunity. Right, but it's for me, it is extremely important to lose as little cash as possible when I get stopped out. Very important for me, okay? And that is why I like to protect my position as quickly as possible. Right, also not too quickly where you just get stopped out of your trade and then it runs away from you. Right. Berry CVD forming on the 5-minute. Yes, it's me, Tom. I did see that. I did see. CVD pumping on Bybit. I did see. It always gets close to liquidity but never quite hits it, right? Many times. Yes, Ali, I have seen that as well, okay? And this is why I don't trust liquidity. It looks like from a liquidity perspective that it needs to come and... We do that. It needs to come and claim it, right? It took some of it, not all of it, and then price falls to the downside. This happens often, and this is why I don't like liquidity as a reliable tool for me to have confidence to enter trade. It's something that I will look at just to acknowledge, but it doesn't dictate why I'm entering the trade. Right? It's just another area, another level of confluence at the end of the day. Come on, not even 50%. Can we crush this, guys? Show your support. Hit that like button below. Yes, guys, if you have not hit the like button for the education, for the alpha, right? What are you waiting for? And remember, guys, if you'd like to come and trade with me, support the channel so that I can keep on bringing you guys the alpha. I've got weeks with a 20% cash back on the money that you deposit in your features account, 25% discount on your trading fees, and the more you trade, you stand a chance to win a sexy Ferrari in your driveway, or you can just take the money equivalent cash. And bluffing, the more you trade, the more money gets airdropped into your account. Both of these exchanges only require an email and a password. You can verify yourself if you want to, but you don't have to. Right, cool. Can we look higher time frame, sir? Okay, let's go on to the 1 hour time frame. Let's delete some stuff. Let's delete some stuff over here. Right. I just need to get rid of all these trends that is making a mess here at the moment. There we go. Okay. And then just clean up all of this mess. Right, legends, let's work with a blank piece of paper over here. So quick analysis, it has not really changed since this morning when I did my update. Legends, it is a structure that can be counted in so many ways, okay? The most important thing we have to acknowledge on the 4 hour time frame, you want high time frame analysis. On the 4 hour time frame, when you take a fib from the high to the low, okay? If price, doesn't matter what it does over here, comes up here, this becomes a very interesting rejection area, okay? Golden pocket. Also, when you take your fixed range volume profile for this entire zone that we have created over here, it also aligns with the naked point of control, where the highest amount of volume was traded is at the 0.618. That's also where all of that liquidity to the upside is lying. So if price finds the strength to tap this high one more time, definitely a short that I want to be a part of. Definitely, because it could, this entire structure could start correcting itself. Okay, maybe it finds support here above the highs and then it continues, but I want to take advantage of that trade, right? That is not a scalp trade. That's most probably a trade that's going to play out over a course of a couple of days, if not a week, right? That is more a swing trade that I want to get into. Okay. Right, legends. So now the question is, how did this structure develop here to the upside? For now, it still counts as a three-wave structure. I mean, if you look at it, it looks three-wavy. It still looks three-wavy. So there's a chance that this is an A, B, C. Okay, maybe this was the high and now it's going to form impulses back to the downside. I don't know. Maybe it's going to make one more high, right? Maybe this was the top. And it's going to create a larger sideways corrective structure to mimic this corrective structure and then make one more high. And then you can see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this corrective structure is a little bit short. It needs to mimic this corrective structure in time. Right, another bullish case scenario that I see a lot of people are still talking about. Okay, so if I zoom into this little structure, I see a lot of people are talking about this structure in terms of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are now busy with a corrective structure, okay, that's basically still correcting an impulsive structure in a 5-wave structure. And I mean, from a fib retracement perspective, from the low to the high, you're basically looking at your minimum target, the 0.382, preferred target, the golden pocket, which is also in alignment with the value area low of this entire range. What if this is the 1, 2, and it bounces here in an explosive third wave? Okay, then I don't even know if I should tell you guys this scenario. I saw someone talking about this scenario. I don't think it carries high probability, but let me highlight it in case price flies like a damn rocket out of nowhere and no one knows why. Okay, this is an extreme bullish case scenario. This is a 3-wave structure, and we create a 3-wave structure back to the downside and we claim the low. Bullish case scenario is maybe this is a 5-wave in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, you make a retracement, you bounce in a 3-wave structure, and you continue momentum here to the upside. The most insane bullish case scenario, right? Do you guys want to hear it? It is crazy. It is absolutely crazy, right? Is the following. If you look at this structure, let me zoom in and show everyone. Okay, if you take a fib from the low to the high, okay, the biggest concern with this little structure over here, this little structure, is the retracement went so shallow to the 0.236. But we got the push to the upside. These structures I have seen in bull markets when you start to get aggressive momentum back to the upside. I have seen shallow retracements like this. Okay, now again, if you take a fib from this low to the high, where did price bounce? The 0.236. The 0.236. So there are some technical analysts that are speculating on, well, what if this is okay, bear with me, a double 1-2, okay, basically a double 1-2. I have to be honest with you guys, I don't see it as a high probability, but the market is here to surprise us, where you have basically formed a 1-2, 1-2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. That's insane. It could literally claim the all-time highs, this structure. Do I think it has high probability? I don't think so at the moment. Can it play out? Of course. I just think it has low probability, right? These retracements are incredibly shallow, but it does look like, I don't know. You need to let me know in the comments. What do you think, right? What do you think? Do you think this structure has any chance of playing out? Because from an Elliott wave perspective, okay, your minimum retracement targets is usually the 0.382. And the fact that each structure has not even hit the 0.382 is a bit concerning and very rare. Okay, you have not hit the minimum target for a wave 2. You have not hit the minimum target for a wave 2. So for price to rock and roll like this to the upside, it can happen. And you've heard it here on this live stream. Okay, I will be there playing the breakouts and the signs of strength. But, you know, there's no ways in hell I'm entering a position over here thinking or speculating that this is definitely the scenario. I'm a trader, a technical trader, and I trade probabilities. The probability for this scenario is not high. There's a higher chance for this to be a three-wave structure, or there's even a higher chance for this to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 than a double 1, 2 here to the upside. But if it does happen, there is a scenario that supports this. So, right, legends, from a simplicity perspective, okay, on the 4-hour time frame, you have massive resistance above. And it's going to be a tough nut to crack here on the upside, right? This is massive resistance. Also, when I start switching on some levels of confluence, daily level, weekly levels, point of controls, okay, you can see that inside of this box that I've just highlighted, you have a daily and a weekly level right here by the 0.618. By the 0.66, you have another daily and a naked point of control. There's a massive wall of resistance to the upside. Okay. Right. So there's a little bit of higher time frame analysis. And remember to smash up that like button. I hope it does play out. I'm long now. Right, Dewald, your intro has inspired me to buy more. All right, Robert, you almost caught me again. Anyways, legends, remember the links that I trade with are down in the description for the exchanges, Bluffin, and Weeks. All you need is an email and a password to sign up. Right, legends, I've basically said what I wanted to say over here. Now we're just going to wait for the trades to play out. I've gone through every probable and possible scenario to play longs to the up and to the downside. And right, something interesting to note here on the 4-hour time frame is that we do have more selling pressure from a volume perspective with this momentum here to the downside. Okay, we do have more selling pressure kicking in here if I look at that volume candle. Right, so maybe we can like to see a little bit of a deeper correction to the downside, little bit of medium time frame analysis. If you take a fib from this low to the high, okay, and I switch on my point of controls, the most obvious level to the downside for me is going to be this zone over here to look for a long. If price just falls aggressively here to the downside, right, this is the zone where we could get a bounce. Okay, I think also if I take a trend based fib, I think it was from this low, this high to the low, yeah, okay, There's also a 1.618 level over there. Nice little confluence. If price does decide to fall here to the downside, you have the 0.382, you have a naked point of control, you have the 1.618. So this zone becomes a very interesting bouncing area. Okay, and it could be, you know, especially if we didn't get the rejection in the zone, this could be the bounce that takes you back. Okay, then you reject, and then this looks better. Okay, look how much better this looks, just based on what I've drawn over here. Now this looks better as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks better as a damn beautiful 5-wave structure. Better retracement. This 0.236 is driving me crazy. Okay, we're getting extreme bullish bounces here to the upside, which is actually more common for corrective structures, by the way. Right, legends, remember to smash up that like button if you haven't done so already. Thanks for joining the live stream. Did we get stopped out? Let me check. Did we get stopped out? No, I'm still in. I'm still in. Right, let me check. Yeah, I'm still in the trade. Right, I'm still in the trade. Right, legends, let's see how this plays out. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. Until the next one, cheers for now.